Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, we will introduce some Hoyas, including some rare Hoyas. We will also talk about how to grow Hoya as houseplants and how to get them to bloom. If you like this video, please thumbs up, leave a comment, and share with your friends. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please consider to subscribe. We will talk about all different kinds of flowers in the future. Hoyas are the perfect indoor plants due to their long life, steady growth, and beautiful glass-like flowers. Common names for these plants include wax plant due to the thick waxy leaves and porcelain flower. Hoya carnosa crimson queen. Hoya carnosa is the most widely cultivated Hoya species and one of the easiest to grow. This cultivar, called both Crimson Queen and Tricolor, produces thick, fleshy leaves with white and pink margins. Sometimes you will even get the otherworldly combination of pure white leaves and pink stems. I have had this plant for 3 years. It grows very well. The other Hoyas were just bought this year as a starter plant. They are pretty small compared to this one. Hoya australis lisa. Compared to Hoya carnosa, Hoya australis has thinner leaves and sends out shoots in a more upright habit. The flowers are also white and form in a more loose bunch that does not form a perfect ball like those of carnosa do. I have this Hoya for several months. I think it grows pretty slow. Hoya linearis. Hoya linearis hangs downwards. Its long, thin, fleshy leaves have a slight fuzziness to them and look very graceful. This cascading plant produces white flowers with a lovely citrusy fragrance. Hoya carrii variegated, sweetheart Hoya. Hoya carrii is a familiar sight around Valentine's Day. Single cuttings of their heart-shaped leaves are often rooted and sold at this time of year. Sold in green and variegated styles, this Hoya is a very slow-growing climber. When it flowers, the blossoms are cream and maroon. Hoya pubicalis. Hoya pubicalis is a vigorous grower. It produces a wild tangle of silver-specked, deep green, longer leaves. Its flowers are deep purple-red, and this color can even show in the new vines as well. Hoya croniana Eskimo. This variety goes by different names, including Hoya croniana silver, super silver, and Eskimo. It produces adorable, silvery, small leaves. When this small Hoya blossoms, the result is really special. The center of each flower is gold against a frilly white backdrop. Hoya macrophylla variegated. Hoya macrophylla, the specific epithet means big leaf, is certainly accurate in this case. The unusually large lanceolate leaves have lighter colored, heavily ribbed veins and cream margins. The flowers are very beautiful, pale pink. This plant enjoys the sunny spot here during winter. It grows wild. Hoya callistrophila. Hoya callistrophila has very interesting sunset-toned flowers, but it rarely blooms. The scientific name is telling. It literally means most beautiful leaf in Greek. The combination of lime green foliage and dark green veins is very surreal and makes this Hoya highly sought after despite its slow growth and difficulty producing flowers. Hoya V80 tricolor. Hoya V80 tricolor is a very slow grower, but it's definitely worth it. The mix of green, pink, and cream-colored fleshy lanceolate foliage is to die for. While it may take some time for this species to bloom, the deep red flowers are also worth waiting for. Hoya quinquenervia. The scientific name for this Hoya means five-veined and refers to the prominent, lightly colored veins which grace each leaf. This species likes brighter sunlight than most, and the leaves will blush a pretty red color when it receives ample light. It is a prolific bloomer, producing yellow, sweet-smelling flowers. The leaf has turned a little bit green due to the lack of sunlight in winter. Hoya lacunosa. Hoya lacunosa produces dark green leaves with a slightly sunken, cup-like appearance in between the veins. The flowers are very unusual, with each being a pale yellow star set in a frilly white cloud. They smell strongly of cinnamon. Now let's dive into the care of Hoya plants. About light. In nature, Hoya species are often epiphytes. They grow in the branches of larger trees and trail down through the canopy. Because of this, they often enjoy bright, indirect light, which imitates the dappled shade of their natural environment. Since the sun is more intense in summer, it is especially important to avoid direct exposure during the warmer months. In winter, however, the sun is weaker, and Hoya can often tolerate sunnier window locations. My plants enjoy some direct sun in winter, and they put out lots of new growth. But I also see some Hoya plants hanging in restaurants without direct sun all year round, and they grow pretty well too. Trial and error is a good policy for finding the spots where your plants are happiest. In terms of water, Hoya are drought tolerant. Wait until the top third of the potting media has dried out before watering the plant again. When the plant is actively growing in spring and summer, they will uptake larger amounts of water. Slow up watering in the winter to prevent root rot, and ensure that the plants have good drainage. As a general rule, the fleshy-leaved Hoya prefer drier conditions, while the thin-leaved species are more sensitive to drought. About temperature, Hoya are tropical or subtropical plants and cannot tolerate cold. Once temperatures begin to drop into the 40s, take them inside. A small cold snap or two usually won't hurt the plant, but it may retard its growth. Frost will damage the plants severely. About humidity, Hoya are native to monsoonal climates in tropical East Asia. This means that they thrive high humidity, especially during the growing season. Be sure to increase air movement as you increase the humidity to avoid fungal diseases. Avoid wetting the leaves heavily for the same reason, though a light misting can be beneficial. If your Hoya is growing happily as it is, don't worry about it so much. But if the leaves are browning or drying up, try misting them, putting them on pebble trays with water, or look for other ways to raise the local humidity. In terms of fertilizer, Hoya like to be fed during the growing season. Use a balanced fertilizer either at a weak concentration weekly or at a stronger one bi-weekly. Cut back fertilization in the fall and start again in the mid to late spring as the plants prepare to flower. About pruning, I never prune my Hoya plants unless I want to propagate them. If you see a long bare tendril, do not cut it. These plants send out tendrils far ahead of their leaves, which will begin to grow out as the vine extends further. About propagation and repotting, you can propagate Hoya from cuttings or through air layering. If you do take cuttings, it's best to make sure that the cutting includes some leaves if you want a high success rate. These plants are super easy to propagate. Hoya are one of those plants that enjoy being root-bound. Do not overpot them. If you need to get a new pot, select one which is only slightly larger. It is absolutely essential to have a drainage hole, as Hoya respond very badly to wet feet. Terracotta is an ideal material due to its ability to breathe. Do not overly disturb the root ball, as they can be sensitive to that, and try to repot in late spring when the growth season is getting underway. When you propagate or repot your Hoya, we need to choose the right soil mix. If you plant your Hoya in an airy, loose, well-draining mix with perlite or bark, they will generally be happier, but will also require more frequent waterings. You can also plant them in your typical houseplant or succulent soils and have to worry less about them drying completely. Most Hoya plants have gorgeous foliage. We can give some sun stress to get those pretty colors. When plants receive an excessive amount of sun, they will produce pigments called anthocyanins. Compounds like these are analogous to melanin in humans. They are produced in response to sunlight in order to prevent further damage from UV radiation. This can cause leaves to gain interesting, attractive reddish and purple tinges. If you do try these, increase the exposure gradually. A sun-stressed leaf can be very beautiful, but nobody wants to see a burned one. Last but not least, let's talk about blooming. Plants that are snugly root-bound and are receiving ideal amounts of sunlight, water, humidity, and fertilizer will often bloom during springtime. Plants can also be forced to bloom through stress. This method is particularly efficacious with thick-leaved Hoya like Hoya carnosa, as these plants are used to surviving a seasonal dry spell in their natural environment. You simply give your Hoya bright light and stop watering it for 4 to 5 weeks during springtime. Be careful with this method, as some Hoya, especially the thin-leaved species, will often not respond well to it. Alright, this is today's video. I hope it is helpful to you. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them below. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please consider to subscribe. Thanks for watching and see you next time.